So unless you live in a new build estate, your internet is probably awful, at least here in the UK. If it is, we might have a solution. Thousands of little Elon Musks are floating around the sky, beaming fast internet down to anyone, no matter where you live in the world. And could it be a solution for you in 2022? So first off, we've got to get this connected. So this clips in here, like that. I have noticed though, it is relatively rattly. I don't know if that's going to be a problem, but we're popping it out on the balcony. I have got 11 chickens. They are noisy, so you'll probably hear them. Step 2, plug this, which is from the satellite, into this. Like that, and this, which is the power cable, and this is your little Starlink router. Now the moment of truth. So here's it's booting. So it is just presumably a waiting game. It says offline booting. The dish has moved. It was sort of more vertical. It's sort of pretty much lying down now. Nothing's lit up on that yet, but I don't know if it does. So after 10 minutes of booting on the app, or it's saying it was booting, and the dish presumably looking for the satellites, it's now showing that it is online. So let's see what the speeds are like. I made a slight miscalculation by throwing a cable over the roof to try and get it closer to the games room, which is where ultimately I want the internet to be the fastest. And the cable bounced off the concrete out the front and mashed all the end of it up. So I had to bend it around with pliers, whack a screwdriver in there just to get it to fit back in. It seems to be working fine, but I'd be surprised if it hasn't affected anything because it was quite badly damaged. Starlink's been running for four and a half hours now, and I have noticed that the speeds vary quite a lot, from 250 to 300 meg I've seen as a max, down to about 50 to 60 meg. Generally they seem to sort of level out at around about 100 to 150 meg, but it does change quite a bit, and today's a really clear day as well, so I don't know whether clouds would normally affect it, but there's none really in the sky, so it can't be that. One of the key kind of selling things for me with Starlink as well is that there wasn't a minimum contract length, where with BT you're looking 24 months, Skye's normally 12 months. Done tons of tests, constantly doing tests on speedtest.net, fast.com, the BT wholesale one, Starlink app, everywhere where I can do a test, I've pretty much done one. The speeds have varied so much, between 250, 300 at one point, all the way down to about 30 to 50 meg. Generally it settles at a minimum of about 80 to 100 meg. But today is a super clear day, there's barely a cloud in the sky. I don't know whether clouds will affect it, but if they do, that could be something to bear in mind. Obviously I can't recommend it to anyone yet because I've had it half a day. It seems better, it's obviously faster, there isn't any sort of minimum contract duration, which you have definitely got with every other broadband provider that I can think of. So yes, it is looking good, and I know the initial setup might put a lot of people off because I think it was about £600 for all the equipment initially. However, I did get a quote to get fibre put to the door and the house in the sort of semi-rural area that I live, and the quote for that was just over £18,200. So in comparison, it's actually a hell of a lot cheaper. There is another experiment that I want to do before I hard mount it to the roof, which is I want to take it away in the camper van and see whether it is a feasible option to have super fast internet while you're away camping at a campsite or in a remote location. I'm not sure whether it's going to work, I cannot guarantee it, but if it does work, this could solve a lot of problems, especially for content creators that are traveling. So it was easy to set up, it's running nice and quick, it's still faster than what I've got, worst case scenario, and you're not tied into anything. Obviously I can't recommend it yet. I will come back and do an update on Starlink in about a month or 2 months and see how it's getting on, but for now, I'll see you in the next one.